Man, UFC 205. I gotta eat my prediction. I called Alvarez. I kind of talked him into it. I think he's not the kind of person you talk things. You know, you don't talk Ryan into a lot, but I think
I swung it. Yeah, I did. I'm not gonna lie.
I think he took my confidence and sort of rode that. And sorry, old pal, but we were wrong.
I was pulling for McGregor, but I did think there.
I don't know why I thought Alvarez would win. I just thought he had. I thought that
he didn't do what I thought he was. He didn't do the game plan. And I don't know. You know, and that's props to Conor, I guess, for taking him out of it. But he did not fight the style of fight that I thought he was going to do. And you know,
boys, where does Conor McGregor? What does he do now?
I thought about that a lot. I'm always looking at that stuff.
I think he gave some pretty good hints there at the post conference there. I mean, he's got the baby, and
he's going to take time off, and you can't hate on that. He's been active. I think he's had more fights than
he wants ownership now of the company. And that's
and that's the thing, I believe, where there may be some issues.
There'll be some issues.
There's going to be some issues. You know, he mentioned, you know, some of these celebrities have bought ownership, you know. And if you look at it, I understand where he's coming from. He does got the family on the way. He's making the money. But the guy's like, if I'm going to continue to be as active as I've been, I know what you all are bringing in. You just sold for $4 billion, and most of that is because of me. If you want me to, and it is. He speaks facts. I respect.
Who else is selling it right now? Nobody. There's nobody selling
who
cards.
Who can you put on a card? You know, you could put Conor McGregor out in Alaska, you know, and it's going to sell out. You know, people's taking ships and planes to get to Alaska to watch Conor McGregor.
Ships and planes to Alaska.
But you know, going forward with that whole thing, I think the 145 belt will be stripped. You know, and I made this, and you called me out on it on Facebook. As soon as Nate and Conor 2 was over.
Well, your theory has been right, though.
I made a theory, and I backed off the prediction on the Alvarez win, but I did eventually. I can go back and find it. I'm attempting to do that. It's all played out from my original theory with the, you know, I made the change of Alvarez winning, but here we are now. He's got the 55, same result. Khabib has to have a title shot, as bad as I hate to say that.
No doubt.
The guy smoked it at 205. He's on a tear. I think he's 24-0 as a pro now. I just don't think they want to fight him. You know, I don't think they want to fight him, but he's earned his shot.
Everybody's saying stylistically he's a nightmare for Conor.
Yeah, and that's where and that's the thing. That's why I don't want him to fight Conor. I want Nate Diaz to get, because I'm biased toward Nate Diaz, but I want Nate Diaz to get what's his and what I feel he deserves. He's had 20 plus fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
He's been there at a very young age. He won the Ultimate Fighter, and I feel like he never got built by the media. What built him was when he fought top 10 guys.
Well, it's sort of like, I mean, you can sort of break this down, you know, and I may be overanalyzing things, but you can sort of break down Nate and Nick Diaz, their journey, you know, let's say to the microcosm of Eastern Kentucky MMA. I mean, nobody cares about it. You know, that's why we're doing this show. We're trying to get out there all these people and their names, because, you know, Nick and Nate, yes, they have fought Pride. They've done the UFC. They've done the Strikeforce thing, but it's just kind of like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
But they've done some awesome things, dude.
They have, man. They beat some good people, and just even outside of this, and this we talked about this on the last show, I believe. You know, the show business part of the UFC now, it's not becoming. It's going less fight business, more show business. It's almost turning WWE-ish.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But it sells tickets, and if you're going to talk about selling tickets, Nate and Nick Diaz sell tickets. They're needle movers.
Well, and you know, these boys have, you know, I always like to use that term, that real deal jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
I love jiu-jitsu. I love grappling, but I love jiu-jitsu. Man, these guys have got some fantastic jiu-jitsu. Like, I mean, they can survive against probably about anybody.
They're high.
I mean, they can survive. You know, they can survive and figure out a way to just survive at least. I mean, these guys are unreal, you know, and I think that styles make fights. And just going back to the Khabib, Conor McGregor thing, I think that Conor is more, he's more of pick and choose his shots kind of guy.
Yeah,
Good stance work, good footwork, real analytical, I think.
He counters a lot.
He does a lot of counters.
Most of his punches are landing off counters.
But does he want a part of Khabib? That's the thing.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and call this. I'm going to say, as far as the Diaz brothers, Nick Diaz versus Michael Bisping will probably happen soon, with Nick Diaz taking the 170 title.
I don't know if that'll be it.
Is that fair? I don't know. I like Nick Diaz. I'm glad to see it happen. He's been on suspension. As far as fight business goes, he probably doesn't have the right for that shot.
Right.
But he's going to sell tickets. It's going to be he's
That's all it's about.
Michael Bisping don't sell tickets.
No. And Michael Bisping, well, anyway.
He's not going to sell tickets. You know, if you put Michael Bisping up against somebody, it's got to be somebody that's going to sell the tickets, or he's not going to headline a pay-per-view. Nick Diaz is that guy. I think Nick Diaz beats him. 170 title. Now, going back to Khabib, Conor, strips of the 145 title. If they give the fight to Khabib, and it's Conor versus Khabib, I think Nate gets the winner. If they hold Khabib off, if Khabib don't get the title shot, he needs to not fight anybody else.
Yeah.
Refuse it.
Yeah.
Because if he loses, boom, he's out of the top.
Yeah.
So if I'm Khabib, if I don't get the title shot, I'm saying do not give. I'm not fighting anybody. I refuse to fight. Then he gets winner out of Nate and Conor.
Right.
But
you have to have him in the mix.
He's got to be in the mix. He's earned it.
In the mix.
Personally,
he's the man. I mean, Khabib is Khabib.
I think you give, and if I'm Nate, I'm not fighting anybody else except for the belt, or I'll fight Conor McGregor.
What about this? What if Conor vacates the 145 belt? They just boom, boom, boom. It all comes together. You got Conor and Nate 3,
which will be the all-time, I think, biggest pay-per-view that they have.
Which could happen. It could happen. I don't think it's going to happen soon, but
No,
it could happen.
It'd be 209 or greater.
What about, could Khabib possibly go to 145 and fight for that belt?
I don't know. I don't think, because then
Jose Aldo out.
Then I think it's unfair to Khabib for having to make the harder weight cut. You know, it's kind of like saying, hey, I've earned my spot at 55, but we need you to go 45.
Yeah.
I don't see him doing that.
I just want to throw that out.
Yeah, I don't see him doing that. I think it's probably something that Dana White, because he's that type of dick.
Yeah.
You know, he's that type of dude.
Yeah,
By the way, Misha Tate cussed Dana out after 205 and said, I don't work for you no more, you mother effer. So I thought that was funny. But
well, Dana White is...
I'm sure he's hard to get along with.
You know, I mean, just the way he delayed strapping Conor's belt on. I mean, I was just like, what's going on?
Yeah, he did not want to bring that 45 belt out there. But then again, the double champ, you know, I do whatever I want. And you notice the belt got out there quick.
Yeah.
You know, and then he's talking, you know, I want part ownership. It's hard telling.
Yeah.
I look for Conor to make movies now. Conor's got that brand. He's got that Ronda Rousey thing. The thing I respect about Conor, though, is he's had that for a while now. He's had, you can put me in a video game, you can put me in the magazines, you can put me in the movies, but he still fights.
Yeah, but he still fights.
Rousey didn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, Rousey's kind of been out of the fight business. Now she's coming back. But Conor, you know, Conor's a fighter. I think we're going to see, rumor has it, Alvarez put this out there. He's having 2 babies, and his wife ain't having twins. So you can do the math on that one. That's a rumor. I don't know that to be, like you said, you know, you're getting truth, lies, and everything in between. That's a little in
might have
between.
had something to do with his performance of the night. I don't know.
Yeah. But supposedly he's, you know, at least we know he's got one on the way, so he's trying to set his kids up. You can't blame him for that. I do the same.
Man, you know, I'm just looking around. The whole combat sports world, man, is just exploding. I mean, it's an exciting time to be involved in this stuff. You know, again, Joe Bay's he's going to be fighting Nathan Orchard at the Submission Underground. I am pulling for Joe Bays.
Yeah, Joe Bays. Root
Joe
for you,
Bays.
man.
Kentucky boy, fighting at Chelson Submission Underground. I think it's, like we said last episode, that's going to put him really on the map where he deserves to be. ADCC trials are coming up. For those of you who don't understand what that is the Abu Dhabi Combat Club. This is how they determine who goes to the big show. The Abu Dhabi Grappling Championships is a big deal. It's the most prestigious grappling tournament in the world. North American trials are coming up.
Yeah.
Tom DeBlass had a little thing out about it last night. You know, it's
Seen it,
funny,
Gordon,
you know,
talk
talk
about-
about why people are bitching about, you know, not being able to register, you know, the day of the tournament. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, this is ADCC.
Right,
You know, this
this
is
is-
not NAGA. This is not, you know, I mean, no disrespect, but this is not your local or regional grappling tournament. This is ADCC, people. It's like, you gave 8 months to register. 8 months. It's unprecedented. IBJJF does not do such a thing. Okay, you got about 2 months at best, and that's it. And they cut it off. You do not register at the door. You got to be a member. You know, you've got to. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
Take some
you know.
time. They're gonna make sure you show up.
So the ADCC North American Trials, to my knowledge, Jesse Ray Children still doing that, right? Have you heard any different?
I don't know. I know he was raising money for it. I know he was raising
Well, I
money
hope
for it.
that
I hope
happens,
he gets to make it.
because I can see him going all the way through the bracket.
Yeah.
I really
The
do.
kids one is coming up. Got an email on that.
Are you going to
In
take
November.
Max?
I'm wanting to, and the thing that kills me is it's in the dead
It's in
heat
the
of wrestling season, and that
Just
kid
for
will
your
not miss it.
information, Maddox Bryant, Top Fight Academy student, did qualify at Butch Isles ADCC tournament to compete in the North American Grappling Championship for the ADCC. So
I think it's in New Jersey too. I think it's the same place as the adults is, but it's different times.
It's a
but
big
gonna
deal,
be-
big ordeal.
Yeah, I don't,
But we're proud of Maddox for you know, qualifying. So, man, just looking around though, so much to talk about, never enough time. Warrior FC was a hit, man. Warrior FC. I think Warrior FC needs to be in Hazard, dog. Time. Come
It
on,
does.
bring it back. Bring it to Hazard. Going to
Thankfully
Harlan.
they are. Yeah, Harlan's kind of over in a I feel like a bad spot as far as because you're going to draw the crowd, the Harlan crowd, but if you're looking at that's a rough drive.
Man, it
just
is a
not
rough
not
drive.
necessarily. It's the same distance from Harlan
Especially
to
in the
Hazard.
winter.
Yeah, but you know you're going to have a show over there, man. It's going to be rough. I like to see them. Of course, they are coming back to Hazard. I'd like to see them go to Pike County.
Pike County.
That's an area
the
that
Expo Center.
nobody's hitting as far as MMA. Nobody's hitting Pike County anymore. That was a big place.
That was
a
a big
big
draw.
draw.
That
I mean,
used
when
to-
you're using Expo Center for a venue, you plan
Yeah.
on selling tickets.
I mean, you know, for the fighters, what better experience to walk out in an arena's top format. You know, you say it's kind of like walking in a Rupp Arena or you know, any of these big arenas. You know,
My last fight, 2011, in Pikeville, 2000. It was standing room only in Pikeville College's gymnasium down by the college. 2,000 people. Big turnout.
Jimbo, check out Pike County, bro.
Got some venue options for
You know, the thing about it, you know, local MMA has never been more popular, and now there's no shows.
Yeah.
Doug Day doesn't do XFC anymore. The Gladiator, is it?
It's down.
It's
No,
down,
it's down
right now, and so you've got Jimbo doing Warrior FC, and you got Hard Rock out there in the western part.
Yeah,
of
they're
the
starting to
village.
stay more. I think Jimbo right now, as far from a business standpoint, has got a real good opportunity. I feel like it's gaining steam.
Oh, he does.
He's got a real good opportunity right now. And here's the thing that I've not been involved in any of Jimbo's shows until here.
Yeah.
But I was a fighter myself. You know, he's so good behind the scenes, and that's what a lot of people don't see. You know, I've been to shows to where they're calling fighters out, and they don't even have their gloves on.
Yeah.
You know, Jimbo's show was super professional behind the scenes.
I was impressed. I mean, as a guy that's cornered, I have cornered, I don't know how many fights. I can't count them. As a corner man, with the, you know, you've got a little window to prepare your fighter. And, you know, corner Brown, man, that's the first time I cornered a fighter in I don't know how long. We were given the privacy we needed to talk game plan. We were given the space we needed to warm up, and we were really far away from the other guy. You know, and that's important because, you know, like we said, it's first to show you fight at the Armory, you got one room, everybody's warming up, hitting paid. You can't tell anybody what to do because the other guy hears it, you know. So it was good. I thought Jimbo made the best he could make of R.W. Combs elementary school.
So I would love to see, and this is just
Jimbo's mindset and Jimbo's
just a good dude.
He's a good dude, and he's got a lot of good people that fight for him. Jimbo Collins taking Warrior FC to Pikeville. Man, Jimbo, listen, it would, God, dude.
It would open some doors. And I tell you too, and I know there's a lot of money involved and stuff. If he could somehow, you know, like I said, he's got it covered behind the scenes. if he could somehow, the more show type feel, like I remember Gruesome MMA.
And Gladiator used to do a lot of like lights out.
They had the lights out.
Lights.
Gruesome had projectors for the walkout. You know, you was put on like a big projector screen. They had the catwalk, but behind the scenes, man, they were horrible.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I mean, they was. I fought for.
So Jimbo's good behind the scenes.
Yeah, and he's good. You know, he's got a good, nice cage. He's probably got the biggest cage. I got in with Maddox. You know, that's the biggest cage.
It is
super nice cage. But man, you know, maybe buy some lights for the top of the cage,
Little
lights off,
just to slowly but surely that could be a huge show.
And yeah, I mean, huge at Pike County.
Huge at Pike County. And I know they've kind of hit Corbin and stuff. You know, Corbin's a good. Corbin's got a good place up there. But man, I think Pikeville though, man, is in desperate need of an MMA show. Hazard seems to get them. I don't know why Hazard gets them.
Well, it's fight country right now in Eastern Kentucky. I mean, you got Viper Pit, you got Top Fight, you got Cats.
And we could be actually possibly, and you know, everything's, you know, you hear it here first. We could possibly be having somebody fight out of our camp.
Yeah,
maybe.
He mentioned, I don't want to say his name, unless is he cool with it?
Well, I think right now he just wants a little time because he's got to go back home and do some things and come back. Maybe we'll see come 2017.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a training partner with me anyway for, you know, over 2 years now.
Rock solid amateur.
I'd love to see it, man.
Rock solid amateur. Different animal in the cage.
Yeah, you flip his switch, man. That's a thing too. Everybody's got a switch. I feel like I got one. When I'm in the cage, I grapple and I strike or something. I don't know. There's like a flip. There's a switch that flips, man. And I think everybody's got one. And Brian Martin. Cut that, edit that. But his switch is very big.
If Brian Martin returns to MMA, amateur MMA, he could really shake things up at the heavyweight level.
Yeah, and two, I think even Brian, I don't know, you know, what his weight is, but I think, you know, Brian trains hard, fight trains. You might see you see Brian at light heavy.
You could.
You know, you can see Brian at light heavy, but either one.
Maybe we're talking. He's thinking about it. I don't force anybody to do anything.
No.
They, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I should.
My wife does. My wife forces me. Man, I want to fight. Matter of fact, when I'm on here, I'm gonna rant about it. Kim, I hope you watch this. I want to fight again. You know, I'm going on. I'm 29, going on 30.
He's fighting.
I wanted to fight. You know, I ain't fought since 2011. It's feeling froggy. Made the weight. You know, I'm dropped from like 180 something, got down to like 163.
Oh, you were ready.
And yeah, Kim.
That's that training with he looked like.
Yeah, I was putting down. I did. I looked horrible.
You were in good shape though, considering, you know, your knee just been operated.
And but you know, I guess my wife, as she said, you got to grow up. You got 2 kids. Kind of suck. She told me, and you know, if my wife is about 115, 120, and she's kind of quiet, but now behind closed doors,
absolutely jumping on your back and beat you with just a frying pan or something.
That's a woman you don't want to make mad behind closed doors.
And that's how Jenny is, dude. I don't mess with you.
No, I don't. I don't want to crack her. I said.
No, I ain't fight. I'm winning. She got dirty. So, man, what else can we talk about? Nothing really. We covered about all the big stuff, man.
Let's see. What's the next big? You got Tito and Chell.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of a
nursing home battle.
Yeah, and that dude, and I've been watching it. I like to see it. They're going to sell some tickets. I think Chell's. I love Tito Ortiz. He's been a long-time favorite. He's not even close to being the fighter he used to be. I think Chell's going to mop the floor with him.
Yeah, I think Chell's played pretty good shape.
Yeah, Chell's been training. You know, he's had that wrestling background. He got off on the jiu-jitsu, and he's been training hard ever since on jiu-jitsu.
That's kind of scary too, man. Yeah, Chael Sonnen is training with Gracie Barra in jiu-jitsu, like. Imagine Chael Sonnen was a real deal jiu-jitsu.
Man, remember he grappled Galval.
Yeah,
at Metamoris, you know, and that was that was just straight wrestling. He, you know, you could tell he was begging for a draw.
Yeah.
But you know, Galval, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys around, didn't get the draw he was hoping for, and that goes to show you the level that people are on jiu-jitsu. You know, if you remember watching, I think we watched that Metamoris at your house, if I'm not mistaken.
We did.
You got a person like Chael Sonnen, a wrestler who very high class. In my opinion, he was grappling safe. He was grappling for the draw, And when if I take side control on somebody, or you take side control on somebody, and your goal is not to pass, it's not the advanced position, and you're just laying there holding, it's hard for anybody to get out.
Yeah.
Andre Galval submitted Chael Sonnen with him trying his best just to play safe,
so that goes like lock the hips down.
Yeah, he was just locking the hips. I mean, he wasn't trying. He's like, I'm gonna be a statue.
I'm gonna kind of talk about just before we end here. Rafael Lovato Jr. Just defended and still champion of Legacy MMA.
Yeah.
Legacy's another one, like Bellator. That's a good little show, man. And Rafael Lovato Jr. Man, that guy is a beast, and his jiu-jitsu is great, but his stand-up's getting really good. Rafael Lovato Jr., I think, I don't know what his goals are. I'd love to see him fight some of the top contenders in the UFC. Because I'm telling you what, man, the guy can absolutely sub out about anybody you throw in front of him.
And Bellator's got a guy. I think he's at 170 champ at Bellator. He fights like Anderson Silva. He's dancing.
Well,
he's
like
hitting
Damian
people.
Gracie that fights for Bellator. It turns out of Stambowski's gym. This dude is for real. You might see a Gracie back on the scene, like tearing people's heads off, because this guy's for real. He won the belt or something up there. The night that Dustin fought for Viper Pit at Bellator.
Yeah.
Damian Gracie, I guess that's how you say his name, R's or H's and stuff.
We'll call him
Bohemian Rhapsody. But no doubt, this guy's got some skill. You need to look him up. Stambowski. He turns out Stambowski's up there in the Northeast. Man, it's blowing up. So my question is here tonight, what's next? What else can happen, man? We've got some shows coming up in February, I think, and we'll see. But we're going to keep you informed frequently regarding the wrestling season, the submission grappling tournaments that are inevitably will come around, and it's always going, it's always growing.
Should have some good guests coming up. Maybe next couple of shows, we're going to try to get some.
We got some interviews coming up I think you're going to enjoy. So, truth lies everything in between, the worldwide leader in absolutely nothing. And, that's hard to take.
Yeah.
But it's the truth. 10-second bell. Anything to add?
Not that I can think of.
Warrior FC was great. UFC 205 was great. What's next?
What's next? Stay tuned and find out.
You'll hear it here first.
Ding, ding.
Even if it's a lie.